Hey, day 14 debrief. So we see the guys getting hyped and pumping each other up, kind of like any team would do before a big game. Then they meet Tim Shepard and his gang and the Brumley boys, folks they didn't really hang out with, but they're all greasers. They're all on the same side. Certainly, Pony Boy's gang couldn't have taken on 22 socias by themselves. Um, so in the midst, so the Rumble is really a backdrop. I mean, definitely important action, but what's really going on is in Pony Boy's brain as he's observing things. So think about the things he's pondering, the connections he's making. He finishes surveying the crew. Why does everybody fight? And he's able to see, oh, he fights for this reason, he fights for that reason. Why do I fight? And he's got nothing. Why would I fight except for self-defense? There's no good reason. That's important. He also realizes that uh, his group is different from these other guys, and Derry's different from all of them. He's observed this before, but he realizes, these are people that I would not think of as my friends. They are hoods now. There will be hoods when they're older. They're a bunch of future convicts. I'll get back to that. But here, Derry's going somewhere. He's going to make something of himself. And Pony Boy realizes he wants that too. I want to be like that. I don't want to spend my life in this same neighborhood, doing the same things. That's really big. Maybe you've thought about the same sort of thing. Often, my students will say, I'm ready to get out of this town and go somewhere new, because we feel boxed in. Maybe just like Ponyboy, I don't want to be part of this setting. I don't want to be judged by the people I grew up around or hang out, whatever. Sometimes we need a fresh start. And I think the beginning of that is wanting something more and wanting to move away from where you've always been, kind of. Remember Johnny's just saying, I never got to go anywhere except for the neighborhood until they ran off into the country. Anyway, he's really thinking about life stuff, not the fight, which is the funny part. And then he's like, we shouldn't be here. We're not like these guys. These are future convicts. I shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. So again, just kind of that inner conflict he's been dealing with. And then he's watching his brother, who, of course, as the biggest one, is put out to challenge the other team. And then this guy that they were buddies on the football team, they hung around together, they liked each other. And now, because one is poorer and works for a living, and one is a college boy who has lots of money, suddenly they hate each other. And Ponyboy is able to see how silly that is, how it just doesn't make any sense. There shouldn't be all this hate. So again, technically what's going on is a fight, but you see all this stuff going on in Ponyboy's brain. That's the important part of the story. And then Dally comes running in. Unfortunately, he distracts Derry, and Paul sucker punches him, and the rumble is on. Then you get, it's kind of comical, them trying to have a conversation while in the midst of fighting for their lives. But he finds out why Dally needed that knife. He wanted to be able to threaten the nurse and get out of the hospital so he could be at the rumble. Uh, True to form, right there. That's Dally in a nutshell, isn't it? So the rumble is on. They're in the midst of fighting, and next time we will get to see what becomes of the fight. Will they drive out the Socias forever and never have to deal with them again? We'll see. All right. See you next time.